Gerrit Janszoon Vos, often known by his Latin name Gerardus Vossius, was a Dutch classical scholar and theologian. He was the son of Gerardus Vos, a Protestant from the Netherlands, who fled from persecution into the electorate of the Palatinate and briefly became pastor in the village near Heidelberg where Gerardus was born, before friction with the strict Lutherans of the Palatinate caused him to settle the following year at the University of Leiden as student of theology, and finally became pastor at Dordrecht, where he died in 1585. Here in Dordrecht the son received his education, until in 1595 he entered the University of Leiden, where he became the lifelong friend of Hugo Grotius, and studied classics, Hebrew, church history and theology. In 1600 he was made rector of the Latin school in Dordrecht, and devoted himself to philology and historical theology. From 1614 to 1619 he was director of the Theological College at Leiden University. In the meantime, he was gaining a great reputation as a scholar, not only in the Netherlands, but also in France and England. But in spite of the moderation of his views and his abstention from controversy, he came under suspicion of heresy, and escaped expulsion from his office only by resignation. The year before he had published his Historia Pelagiana, a history of the Pelagian controversies. At the time it was considered by some to favor the views of the Arminians or Remonstrants. In 1622, he was appointed professor of rhetoric and chronology, and subsequently of Greek, in the university. He had many contacts in England. He declined invitations from Cambridge, but accepted from Archbishop Laud a prebend in Canterbury Cathedral without residence, and went to England to be installed in 1629, when he was made R.D. at Oxford. He was on intimate terms with Thomas Farnaby, and Farnaby's Latin grammar is based to a certain extent upon that which Vossius wrote for the Elsevier Press in 1629. Among his other English correspondents were Brian Dupper, Dudley Carleton, Lord Herbert of Cherbury, George Villiers, 1st Duke of Buckingham, the prelates James Usher and Richard Sterne, and Christopher Wren. He got permission from Charles I to return to the Low Countries. In 1632 he left Leiden to take the post of Professor of History in the newly founded Athenaeum Illustre at Amsterdam, which he held till his death. His son Isaac, after a career of scholarship in Sweden, became residentiary canon at Windsor in 1673. He was the author of De Septuaginta Interpretibus, De Poematum Cantuae Viribus Rhythmi, and Variarum Observationum Liber. Others. His son Dionysius Vossius died 1633 at 1640. He made notes on the work of Moses Maimonides. His third son Gerrit Vossius died 1640. He was an editor of Velleius Paterculus. His son Matthew died 1646. He made the Chronicle of Holland. Francis Vossius was Gerardus Vossius's brother. A person also called Gerardus Vossius, a Roman Catholic who made annotated Latin translations of Gregory Thaumaturgus and Cicero and died in Legion 1609, was a distant relation. Vossius was amongst the first to treat theological dogmas and the non-Christian religions from the historical point of view. His principal works are Historiae de Controversia is quas Pelagius usque reliquiae movid, Aristarchus, Sive de Art Grammatica, Etymologicum a Lingua Latini, Commentariorum Rhetoricorum Oratoriarum Institutionum Libri Vi, De Historicis Graecis Libri IV, De Historicis Latinis Libri 3, of errors of speech and Latino barbarous terms. De Theologia Gentili, Dissertations Tres de Tribus Symbolis, Apostolico Athanasiano e Constantinopolitano, The Times of the Ancient Poets, Correspondence of Vossius with Eminent Men. His collected works were published at Amsterdam. In rhetoric, his works enjoyed a wide circulation, being used as textbooks. He supported Aristotle's definitions, and opposed grammarism, with the major influences being Aristotle and Cicero. He also cited Hermogenes, Menandretta, Bartholomew's Keckerman and Nicholas Corsan.